Guys, I only have 2 weeks left to book for Chicago. Can we get all the panels attached? We'll see in this update. So as you guys know, there's 2 weeks left to work for Chicago, and my goal for the convention was to get all of the panels attached. These big things, these are panels. We have a total of 8 of them to make. We've made 7. We're making some great progress on that, but we definitely need to work on the 8th one this week. And also working on how we're going to get these massive things attached to the Venator. That's what we're going to be working on this week on the Venator update. Guys, before we get into this Venator update though, I wanted to thank you for being amazing fans of this series, because last week we had our most viewed episode yet, grossing over 15,000 views on my YouTube channel, which is absolutely insane. It made me ecstatic. So I'm expecting some new viewers to the series this week. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, please remember to subscribe down below, because this is a really expensive project. And if you do want to be featured in this Venator, I am going to be having a minifig room. This is the first time I'm announcing this. All members and Patreons who have already paid more than $30, or even on streams, if you donate more than $30, you will be mentioned in this Venator when I display it at Brookfield, Chicago, and maybe Brookfield, Virginia. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to bring it to that, or even if I'm going to Brookfield, Virginia, but I do hope to go to Brookfield, Virginia and display this massive beast there. But let's get into this update without further ado with the first 2 packages we got in this week. Starting out this week, we got an order from my friend, Life Brick Studios. He's the real man. Check him out on the Indie Brick Den. Honestly, sends great parts, and he's honestly like one of the best bricklink sellers, because he actually sends packages as you want them. Like, he sends them organized. Like, look at this. We got all my 1x2s combined into one bag right there. All of this, like, it's all separated and perfect. Now, personally, I don't need these parts separated, because these are just going to be used for greebling. As you guys can see, I just bought a bunch of random parts for greebling on the side of the Venator. However, he does provide very high quality product. Like, he combines the bag with hinges with the other hinges. He's just very good, and it makes it way easier to sort when I get these packages in the mail. So I appreciate Tyler for that, and he's definitely a great bricklink seller for that reason. Also, he did give me 35% off because we've been friends for so long. He's such a good dude, and I think he wants to see this thing finished as well. So he's definitely giving me a lot of support with this project over the years as I've been working on this. So huge shout out to him. But then in my other package, I got a bunch of 1x1s, needed a ton of those, some more plates, some more 1x4s, some more of those bricks that are a little bit more like hingy. I don't know how to describe them. We got some more of those for the hanger doors that we got on the side of the Venator right there. So that's something that's very cool. And then I got some of those yellow rods as well, because they were super cheap. But that's really it for this little quick package. So diving into this week on the Venator upgrade, we got some great progress done on rounding off some of these big massive panels, which take forever to do. I just really wanted to round them off and make them look really great, so we got that completed right there. And I was trying to see how many pieces I had left after all these parts orders came in, to see if I could really finish the 4th panel before the 1x16 light blue gray parts come in the mail, which I'm still waiting for them to come in. Alright, we made some great progress on the panels. We actually rounded them off so that we actually have a nice edge at this side, like everything looks great. However, we are still waiting on our 1x16 bricks that you guys can see what's inside those, and 1x6 reddish brownish bricks, whatever they're called. I forgot the name of them, but we're still waiting on those bricks, so we cannot start the final panel. However, we have a lot of experimenting to do with this panel to see how it's going to fit on the Venator perfectly. So now we're going to get into that. So I have been working on this all day long, and I've realized we have a big issue. This is way too long. I don't know how I didn't realize this before until I had the bottom panel on here, but it's way too long. We're basically allowed to cut off this much, which is a big chunk of the Venator. So I'm gonna try and do that and see how that looks, but based on reference images, this is way too big of a panel to have. Although I love the big size of it because it's so cool, I think it needs to be a bit smaller to fit the scale of the Venator. So this is a huge problem that I now have to fix on 1, 2, and 3 panels, which you can't see the other one over there because it's not attached. But this may be a bit too big on the ways of scale, so I'm going to shrink that down right now. Okay, so we have now resized this panel. It is so much smaller compared to the massive size of this panel right here. This is the difference between the two. It is quite insane to see. just like how much smaller it got, and it's quite disappointing. However, it's accurate, it fits, and with the leftover pieces from this, we may be able to complete the final and fourth panel before all those other pieces arrive. Now, what I'm going to do for all those other pieces, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll use it for the back section right here, maybe I won't. I am not sure yet. However, right now, I'm going to be working on redoing, well, not this one, but this panel and the panel down here, and then working on making a fourth panel with the pieces I have remaining. Alright, we made some progress. We've got all the panels fitting properly now. We've made 4 panels. Thank goodness we shrunk down these panels to the accurate size that they're supposed to fit at, because now we have enough bricks as of right now to make all 4 panels. Even though we have a bunch of light bluish gray 1x16 and 1x6 bricks coming in, which I can use for, you know, this section, and I can also use the 1x16s for the back section. Yeah, that big long tail basically that the Venator has. Now we can use those pieces for that, which is super great to hear, because it's less money I have to spend, especially since I spent like $200 on this last week buying parts for another panel. So I'm super happy that when we shrunk these panels down, we have enough bricks to build the 4th panel, which I have now built, but it's just not on camera currently. However, the reason for that is because I've been working on this thing right here. Now you see there's a bunch of gaps like this and like this and all that stuff. Well, this is gonna be changed soon, but these gaps at the top, well, that's because I had to fit it in properly. Now this took a lot of trial and error to get actually work, but it does fit in very flush with each of these supports, along with the elevator shaft, which I do have going through the bottom of this thing. So as you can see, we put it in and it's gonna fit perfectly in just a second. There we go. You see that? There we go. It's a little bit short right there, but that's because I'm going to towel it off eventually. But you can see the top of this panel going in like that, which is a really nice thing to see. And you can see that it lines up perfectly with just about underneath there. We got lined up with that piece right there, and then that piece over there. So everything works out very nice with this, and it lines up with the top panel. So this is looking all very good. Now we did get the angle height of this correct. It's not very secure, as you guys can see, but it's there. This is the correct angle that I need. Now I just need to replicate that angle on the support at the back end, and then line it up with the bricks that are right here. You see how this one's perfectly lined up with this brick, as you guys can see like that. Well, that's not an easy thing to do. We have to do that basically for the back end now, which will take some time. Also, the reason why these aren't in place, so I can shift them around continuously to make them fit properly. But everything is looking really good on this update so far. We spent a lot of time and a lot of work on this, and it's definitely paid off. So it looks like trial 1 of putting the bomb panel on is somewhat successful. As you can see, it's all attached, and it is off the ground, just barely it's off the ground, which is great to see. However, it's like leaning this whole side of the Venator over. Maybe it will help watch the other panels are on the other side, but yeah. Also, it's not at the right angle. I thought it was at the right angle, but apparently it's not. So we still gotta work on that aspect. But overall, this is working pretty well. I'm very happy with this. It's on there pretty strong and sturdy, so that's good. And you know, it's staying on. I'm just happy it's staying on. But right now, I think I gotta adjust those angles a bit. That one right there, and then the other one on the other side, just to get it to work a bit better. So I'm gonna go into that right now. So we're back again with another update. It's been like 2 or 3 days this last segment, which is why a lot has changed. I spent so much time trying to get the angle on this thing correct, and I was like, you know what? Let's do a quick test. Let's test to see if it matches with the front bomb panel. And we got it attached a few times, but I spent probably about 1 hour each time getting this bottom panel attached, which I've now broken into 2 parts because I'm working on something a bit new for this, and I hope I can get this done by Brookworld, because this is a major component of getting the bottom panels to hang. So what had happened before was I spent like 6 weeks trying out different techniques on how to get a bottom panel like this to hang on the bottom of the Venator, and we got it to work a few times, yes. However, it was always complicated and super hard to use. So what I'm trying to do now is create new methods of getting this thing attached, because before we were just using these hinge pieces and hoping that would work, and I was using things that didn't even defy physics. It was crazy. It was honestly insane. So right now I've been working on a few techniques, honestly, on how to make this work, and I think I got one that works. It's basically this. It holds onto it, and then it's going to go in a little slot right here on the Venator. I'm still working on the prototype phase of this, but sadly I don't think this is going to be completed until next week. However, as for this back panel, I still think I'm going to use this method to attach it, but I just want to make sure it has the same angle as this front part does. And until I get this front part working 100% again, I'm not going to be able to figure this out. So it's going to be a lot to do next week, but good news is I miscalculated my weeks, so we actually have 2 more weeks till World Chicago, because right now it is like May 27th, I think, which means World Chicago is like on the 14th, so we got around 2 weeks to get this complete. So hopefully we can get that done in the matter of time, but who knows at this point. Hopefully we can, but I'm just not sure. But that's going to wrap it up for this week on the Venator update. Let's head to the outro. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this week. Next week will be our last week before World Chicago. Hopefully we can get these panels attached. That is my major goal. If we can't, it'll be a bit unfortunate. We'll have a majority of them on, but it'd be amazing if we could get them all attached. But that's all for now. Peace out, stay awesome, and I'll see you all in the next one.